the harsh reality of poverty and how you can break free. Have you ever felt like the world doesn't even notice you? Like no matter what you do, no one seems to care? You know exactly what I'm talking about, the cold indifference people often show to those who have nothing. It's a cruel truth. The world doesn't show mercy to the poor. But here's the kicker. This brutal reality can be your greatest weapon for change. Let me explain why. The world can feel overwhelmingly cruel when you're struggling. When you're fighting every single day to make ends meet, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Everyone around you seems to be moving forward, while you're stuck going nowhere. People treat you differently because of your bank balance or the lack of it. But that's not the full story. Money isn't just paper or digits in a bank account. It's power. It's freedom. It's respect. Think about it. How many times have you been overlooked or dismissed because you didn't have the financial means to make your voice heard? How many doors were closed in your face just because you couldn't afford to walk through them? When you're poor, your voice becomes silenced. Your needs and desires are ignored, and the world moves on without you. But let me tell you something. This doesn't mean you're worth less. Not by a long shot. Here's what the world doesn't tell you: money is not the root of happiness, but it is the key to having options. It is the key to breaking free from the chains of invisibility. Without money, your life is limited. Your choices are limited. But with money, you gain the ability to shape your own future. Now, I'm not here to tell you that money will solve all your problems. But I am telling you this: the moment you realize that money is a tool to get you what you want out of life, and that you can earn it, your entire mindset will shift. This is where it gets good. Poverty is not permanent unless you choose to make it that way. But that's where most people fail. They accept it as their fate, and that's a mistake. Because, my friend, you were not born to suffer. You were born to thrive. I know you've heard it before: people who are rich must have had it easy. They must have been born with a silver spoon in their mouth. But I want you to understand this. The rich are not luckier than you. They simply made a series of choices that led them to success. You too can make those same choices. Let me ask you a question. How much longer are you going to sit back and let life pass you by? How many more times will you accept the hand you've been dealt without fighting for a better one? If you're watching this right now, it's because you're ready for a change. But let me warn you, change is hard. Success is difficult. Most people will never experience it because they quit too soon. But that's exactly why it's so valuable. The path to success is not easy. It's filled with challenges, doubts, and setbacks. But the people who succeed are the ones who don't quit. I'm not here to sugarcoat things for you. This journey is going to take time. It's going to take effort. But what you need to understand is this: everything you've been through, all the pain, the frustration, the failures, can serve as your fuel. That's right. Use your suffering as the energy that propels you forward. So, let's talk about the first step. The first change you need to make is not physical, but mental. The way you think about your situation is what will ultimately define your outcome. If you keep seeing yourself as someone stuck in poverty, then that's exactly what you'll be. But if you start seeing poverty as temporary, something you're in but not something that defines you, you'll have a much better chance of turning things around. It's time to stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's time to stop playing the victim. Instead, start asking yourself, what can I do to change this? How can I take control of my life? The world will tell you that it's not possible to get ahead if you're starting from nothing. But that's a lie. There are countless stories of people who started with nothing and built something extraordinary. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't sit around waiting for the perfect opportunity to fall into their laps. They took action. That's the first and most important lesson. Action is everything. If you're in a place where you don't have money, start by acquiring skills. Learn something that the world needs. Could be anything, from programming to graphic design to social media marketing. The key is to learn a skill that others are willing to pay for. Skills are the currency of the future, and the great thing is that anyone can learn them. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Pick something that can be scaled. Too many people spend their time on jobs that only pay for their time. That's not going to get you far. You need to start thinking about building something that can grow with you. something that can increase its value as you get better. Don't depend on just one source of income. Start small, but start somewhere. Sell a product, offer a service. Use the internet to your advantage. The internet has made it possible for anyone to create something of value. And the best part? It's not limited by geography. Most millionaires today didn't get rich with just one source of income. They created multiple streams. And so can you. But here's the thing, earning money is only part of the equation. Managing money is just as important. You can't build wealth if you don't know how to handle what you've already got. Cut out the unnecessary expenses. Stop spending on things that don't bring you long-term value. Every dollar you save today is an investment in your future. Education is your next big tool. Not just the formal kind, but the kind that teaches you how to manage your money, how to think like a rich person. There are countless books, podcasts, and videos that teach financial literacy. Make it a point to absorb as much as you can. And don't forget, remember all those times you were told you weren't good enough. All those times people looked down on you. Use that as your fuel. Let that anger drive you to prove them wrong. This journey is not going to be easy, but if it were, everyone would be doing it. It's the hard path that leads to greatness. And while the world may seem relentless, it's nothing compared to the power you hold inside of you. The road to success is paved with failure. Every time you fail, it's a lesson. Every time you stumble, you have the chance to rise even stronger. But most importantly, never forget that the only opinion that matters is your own. The world may be cruel to the poor, but you don't have to accept it. You have the power to change your life. You can create something that no one can take from you. Now it's time to act. What's your next step? What are you going to do today to make your future a reality? Let's build a community of people who are determined to win, no matter what. It's your turn. What are you waiting for?